Masha, a curious little girl, lived in a peaceful village with her grandmother. Every day she would watch the jungle from her porch, dreaming of adventures. The village was small, but the jungle in the distance held many mysteries. Grandmother would tell her stories about the creatures who lived there. Masha was always fascinated by them. One evening, as the fire crackled, Grandmother told Masha stories about a funny bear named Palu, who lived deep in the jungle. Palu wasn't like other bears, Grandmother would say with a smile. He was clumsy, friendly, and always full of surprises. Masha listened intently, imagining this strange bear. Masha's curiosity grew every day. The jungle seemed so close, yet so far. She could feel the pull of adventure in her heart. What if I could meet Palu? She thought. The stories her grandmother told her made her wonder if the jungle held the answers to all her questions. One morning, when Grandmother was busy with her chores, Masha decided it was time to go. She packed a small bag, tiptoed past the village, and set off toward the jungle. She couldn't wait to see if the magical bear Palu was real. Masha stepped into the jungle, the air thick with mystery. The sounds of birds, leaves rustling, and distant growls filled her ears. The further she went, the more magical the jungle seemed. Maybe Balu is somewhere near, she thought, her excitement growing. Suddenly, Masha saw him, Balu, the funny bear she had heard so much about. He was standing on two legs, scratching his head as if confused. His big ears wiggled and his eyes widened when he saw her. "Who are you?" he asked in a deep voice. But it was clear he wasn't threatening. Balu's first words were full of surprise. "You can talk?" he exclaimed. Masha laughed. "Of course I can." "I'm Masha." Balu laughed too, his belly shaking. "Well, I'm Balu, the funniest bear in the jungle." The two sat together, laughing at the weirdness of the situation. Balu wasn't the most graceful bear. He tried to balance on one foot, but it was clear he was going to fall. Masha couldn't help but giggle as Balu wobbled, arms flailing. "This is how I practice my dance moves," Balu said, finally tipping over. The jungle echoed with their laughter. Together, Masha and Balu wandered deeper into the jungle. They found hidden paths, strange plants, and trees that seemed to whisper secrets. "Look, a flower that blooms only at sunrise," Balu pointed out. Masha marveled at the beauty of the jungle, realizing how much she still had to discover. As they ventured further, they came across a large log blocking the way. Balu pushed against it, but it wouldn't budge. "It's too heavy," Balu said, frustrated. Masha stood back, thinking hard. "We can do this together," she said, deciding to find a clever way around the obstacle. With a clever idea, Masha found a vine and tied it to a tree. "Let's swing over it," she said. Balu's eyes widened with excitement. The two of them swung over the log, laughing all the way. Balu had never done anything like this before, and it was the funniest adventure yet. As they continued, a tiny monkey appeared from the trees. It swung from branch to branch, watching them curiously. "Hi, I'm Miko," the monkey said, grinning. Balu waved and Masha giggled, happy to make a new friend in the jungle. "The more, the merrier," she thought. Suddenly, the trio found themselves face to face with a growling creature. Its eyes glowed and its teeth gleamed in the dim light. Balu's usual confidence faltered. "Stay calm," Masha whispered. They had to think fast to escape without frightening the creature. Balu stepped forward, puffing out his chest. "I'm the funniest bear and you don't scare me," he declared, trying to sound brave. The creature stopped growling and tilted its head. It wasn't as scary as they had thought. Slowly, the creature backed away, recognizing Balu's courage. After the close encounter, Balu, Masha, and Miko sat down, laughing nervously. "That was close," Balu exclaimed. "I didn't know I had it in me." Masha smiled. "You were so brave, Balu." It was another unforgettable moment in their adventure. After the scare, the three friends were hungry. They found a patch of colorful berries and fresh fruit. Masha was amazed at how sweet and juicy they tasted. Balu happily ate a large handful and then giggled. "Nothing beats jungle food." They shared a laugh, feeling safer and more relaxed. As they explored further, they came across a breathtaking sight, a hidden waterfall. The sound of the water crashing over the rocks was soothing. Masha gasped in awe. "It's beautiful," she exclaimed. Balu stood proudly. "This is one of the jungle's best secrets." It was a magical moment. Balu couldn't resist the temptation. With a big grin on his face, he leaped into the waterfall, making a huge splash. Masha and Miko burst into laughter as water flew everywhere. "I think Balu loves this place more than anyone else," Masha giggled. Balu surfaced, dripping wet but still grinning. Just as they were having fun, the weather turned. Dark clouds gathered and a storm began to brew. The wind howled and the sky lit up with lightning. "We need to find shelter," Masha shouted. Balu and Miko rushed ahead, trying to find a safe place as the rain began to pour. Luckily, they found a large tree with thick branches that shielded them from the rain. As the storm raged outside, they huddled together, staying warm and safe. "I never thought I'd be in a storm like this," Balu said, shivering slightly. "But at least we're together." That night, the storm passed, and the jungle was calm again. They built a small campfire to keep warm. Masha told stories of her village, while Balu shared more funny tales of his adventures. Miko chimed in with cheeky jokes, and they all laughed. The jungle had never felt so peaceful. The next morning, Balu had an idea. "I have a hidden talent," he said, grinning. He stood in front of a tree and began trying to imitate the song of a bird. His voice sounded nothing like the birds, but it was so funny that Masha and Miko couldn't stop laughing. Balu was proud of his effort. Later in the day, they stumbled upon a mysterious cave hidden behind thick vines. It looked dark and a little intimidating. "What do you think is inside?" Miko asked, his eyes wide with curiosity. "Only one way to find out," Balu said confidently. Masha was excited, but also a little nervous. Inside the cave, the air was cool and damp. They used torches to light the way, and the walls were covered with strange markings. "It's like a secret map," Masha said, pointing to the carvings. Balu stared at the markings. Maybe it's a clue to something amazing. The adventure was about to get even more mysterious. At the end of the cave, they found a glowing chest. It was surrounded by golden coins and jewels that sparkled in the torchlight. "Is this a treasure?" Miko asked, his voice filled with excitement. Balu grinned. "I told you the jungle holds surprises." The treasure was more than they had ever imagined. As they admired the treasure, the jungle's ancient guardians appeared from the shadows. An owl perched on a rock, a tiger silently prowled, and a wise old elephant stood watch. "The jungle protects its secrets," the owl hooted, "but true treasure is found in friendship." Balu, Masha, and Miko understood. As the jungle guardians vanished, the three friends sat together, contemplating the true meaning of treasure. "I think the real treasure is our friendship," Masha said. "We discovered something better than gold." Balu nodded. "I agree. This adventure was the best treasure of all." The trio made their way back to the village, their hearts full of memories. They had seen wonders, faced challenges, and learned valuable lessons. "We'll never forget this adventure," Balu said, "and we'll always be friends." Masha smiled. "I can't wait to tell grandmother all about it." When they arrived, grandmother was waiting for them. Masha excitedly told her about the jungle, the treasure, and Balu's funny antics. Grandmother smiled. "I knew you'd have an adventure, but you found something even better, a friend for life." As the sun set behind the jungle, the four friends, Masha, Balu, Miko, and grandmother, sat together enjoying the peace. The jungle, once mysterious and intimidating, now felt like a place of endless adventure and friendship. And they all knew no matter what, they'd always have each other.